In this meditation, we're going to explore our body in a couple of different ways. This practice is done sitting up, so you want to be in a nice seated posture, comfortable, relaxed, but upright. You'll also want to take a moment now to put on your blindfold. I'm not going to wear a blindfold so that I can keep my eye on the clock. I'll be checking the clock from time to time, just to make sure we don't go too long. So just take a moment now to find your seat, find your posture, and take a couple deep breaths in and out, just to settle yourself, remembering to balance your head between your shoulders, letting the shoulders sink, making sure we're not clenching our jaw or our teeth, so letting the mouth fall open. And you can breathe through the nose or the mouth, or both, whatever's most comfortable for you. And if it's helpful for you, again, you can put your hands over your abdomen so that on the in-breath, you feel your stomach expanding, and on the out-breath, it collapses just a little bit, indicating that you're breathing with your diaphragm muscle. And after establishing that you are breathing this way, in a relaxing way, you can put your hands down in whatever posture is comfortable for them. Let's spend a minute or so just feeling the in-breath and the out-breath through the nose or mouth or both. We're just placing our attention on the sensation of the breath. You might have thoughts flowing in and out of your mind at this time. Make no effort to stop them. Just place your attention primarily on the sensation of the breath. As you continue breathing this way, contemplate the exhale. We just bring to mind the idea that on the exhale, the air that is leaving your body is coming from your lungs, and from beyond the lungs, from your bloodstream. And these are gases that have been traveling through your body for some time. And your body is finished with them. And on the exhale, your body is expelling these gases now. So with every exhale, you're letting go of gases, chemicals that have been traveling through your body, keeping you alive in that process. In a sense, with every exhale, we're letting go. Letting go of something that has been a part of our life for some time. In a sense, with every exhale, we're letting go of a part of us, a part of ourselves, something that was part of our body. And without this letting go, without this releasing of spent gases, we wouldn't be able to survive or exist. So in this sense, letting go is natural and is a requirement for us to experience life. So it doesn't automatically represent an ending, but rather a continuation. So for another minute or so, we'll just place our attention mostly on the out-breath, the exhale, and the spirit of letting go as part of the process of being alive. And now we'll shift our awareness now to the sensation of the inhalation, the in-breath, taking in fresh air, composed of oxygen and other gases necessary to keep us alive. This is a state of receiving and absorbing. Feel the sensation of the breath entering your nose or mouth or both, whatever's happening for you right now. Can you feel the physical texture of the breath? Notice, is it rough or is it smooth or something else? Does it feel cool or warm or neutral? Is there any odor whatsoever as you breathe in? We'll let our attention travel now through different parts of the body. We've begun by feeling the sensation of the breath inside the nostrils or inside the mouth and the throat. Follow that sensation now further down through the neck, through the throat, into the lungs. And we can already feel the sensation of our lungs just by breathing with the diaphragm muscle. We can feel our lungs expanding and our chest stretching out on the in-breath, and then collapsing gently on the out-breath. But right now we're paying attention to our lungs filling up with this fresh air, these fresh gases. And with every inhale, these gases connect with the tissues in our lungs through which our blood flows. And these gases enter our blood cells instantly on the inside surface of the lungs. And the blood in our lungs begins its journey through the body. And we can just follow one part of that journey, knowing that this blood, filled with fresh air, is taken directly to the heart, beating in our chest. This heart that pumps the blood throughout our whole body is nourished immediately from the lungs. For a minute or so, see if you can rest your attention on your heart beating. If you can't feel or sense the heartbeat right away, it's all right. Just continue breathing comfortably, keeping your intention to feel or experience the heartbeat. And in time, you'll feel your pulse one way or the other. Just rest your awareness inside your chest. This fresh blood from the lungs is doing two things with the heart. It's nourishing the heart itself so that the muscles of the heart can receive these fresh gases, the oxygen. And then the heart is sending this fresh blood also through the arteries out to the rest of the body. Some of this blood now is transported down to the abdominal region, to your digestive tract, surrounding the stomach and the intestines. So for now, let's just let our attention drop just below the diaphragm to the stomach sac. Just put your attention there, just below your rib cage, where the stomach is. Don't worry about being precise or exact about the location. Your intention is enough. We're just contemplating that the blood nourishes the stomach and helps it do what it needs to do to digest. You can almost imagine now a line of the breath coming from outside of your body, entering through your nose or mouth or both, moving down through your neck into your lungs and your chest, entering the blood that's surrounding your lungs and in the lung tissues, being transported to the heart, and then from there moving down to the stomach, surrounding the stomach and filling its tissues. This continual flow of oxygen and other gases and blood from outside of the body, through the body, from one organ to another. We can move our attention a little further down now, beneath the stomach, still in our abdomen, from beneath the stomach down to the base of our pelvis, filled in large part by the small intestine, which is quite long, many feet long. Again, we don't have to be precise. Just place your attention in your belly. Feel your intestines. Understand that the blood and fresh gases are filling all the musculature, all the tissues that need it. This long line of tissue, the small intestine, is responsible for absorbing the nutrients from your food. It's in a receptive, absorbing state. On the other side of the small intestine is the large intestine. And to simplify how to visualize it, we can imagine that the small intestine connects to the large intestine on the lower right-hand side of your abdomen. And so your large intestine, which is shorter and thicker than the small intestine, moves upward on your right side. Imagine it moving upward until it meets the lower part of your rib cage, and then moves across toward the left, toward your left. This is the transverse colon. And then on the left side, it moves downward, the descending colon. And then shifts toward the center, becoming the rectum and ending at the anus. So we can just put our attention in this arc of tissue. And its job is different from the small intestine. It's not about absorbing, but it's actually the process of eliminating, of getting rid of the materials that the body no longer needs. There are dead blood cells, undigestible fibers, other tissues, bacteria, and other things that the body no longer has use for. And they fill this large tube, the large intestine, and the muscles surrounding it move it to help eliminate these tissues from the body. Just like exhaling stale air is an act of letting go, eliminating these solids is another act of letting go, which is necessary for life. And so the air we've taken in and the blood that's been nourished by it is nourishing this process. For a couple minutes, we'll just quietly feel our abdomen and everything contained inside of it, pertaining to digestion. The stomach, the small intestine, large intestine. And we can automatically include other organs like the pancreas and the liver, the spleen. We can just feel this whole area to include all of them, going through their life processes of absorbing and eliminating. And now we move our attention a little bit further down. And we can imagine our sex organs, whatever physical sexual characteristics you have. Just know that our blood and the nourishing gases and the nutrients that we received through digesting food are also flowing through these areas. No matter what stage of life we're in. If you have had any surgeries in these areas, just know that that space where the surgery occurred is still receiving the nutrients and the blood as part of your life process. Near these areas are our kidneys and the bladder, which have to do with filtering our blood and eliminating waste products in liquid form through the urine. So we can include these areas in our awareness. Again, all part of the lower abdominal region. We can move our attention further down now, imagining these vessels carrying blood down through our hips, our upper thighs, past our knees, our lower legs, our ankles, our feet, and our toes. So let your awareness spread through your lower limbs, the awareness of blood, gases, and nutrients going through these tissues, all the way out to the toes. We're just feeling our legs and feet and our hips and buttocks. We can move our attention now back to the upper chest area and just imagine vessels sending blood out through the shoulders, through the upper arms, past the elbows, through the forearms, the wrists, your hands, all the way out to your fingers and thumbs. So we're just feeling our upper chest, shoulders, arms, hands, fingers and thumbs. We can come back to the center of the chest and now imagine the blood moving upward first to the very upper part of the chest into the throat. Nourishing the tube that you use to take in and breathe out air, the tube that you use for swallowing food and liquid, coughing to release anything that's not wanted by the lungs, and blood also coming to support your voice box, which helps you produce speech and communication. And of course, the muscles of your neck hold up your skull. But for a couple minutes, we'll just focus on the throat and the neck. Just feel. You may have been able to feel the pulse when we were present to the heart. You may have noticed your pulse in the palms of your hands or in your feet or in your abdomen Can you feel your pulse in the throat? And now we can imagine that the blood, the nourishment, and the gases continue up from our throat and neck up to our scalp and our face. So bring your attention to the skin wrapped around your skull and the muscles just beneath it, at the base of your skull and the back, all around the top and the sides, filling your ears and the muscles of your jaw, your cheeks, your lips, your nose, your temples, your forehead, your eyelids, your eyeballs and the eye sockets behind them. Just let your attention spread out over the surface of your skull. And you might give yourself an extra deep exhale and soften these tissues wrapped around your skull. Noticing that everything is easier to feel when it's soft and relaxed. And finally, we can be aware of blood moving up from our heart and our chest, through the neck, up inside the center of the skull, into the brain. If you put your awareness inside your skull, where the brain is, what is that like? Does it feel solid? Does it feel empty and hollow? Does it feel liquid or fluid? Do you feel any pressure? Any sensations? Now we use our imagination even more. Bring your attention to the lowest part of your brain at the base of the skull, where it connects to the spinal column. These gentle, soft nerve fibers, rather like a thin bundle of fibers, connected to the brainstem, the lowest part of the brain. and surrounded by the bone of the cervical spine and the neck, the thoracic spine beneath that, and the chest, down to the lumbar spine, ending in your tailbone. See if you can, inch by inch, let your attention drift down from the base of the brain inside the spinal cord, going down through the neck, entering the upper chest, moving lower down into the mid-chest, down through the back of the abdomen, the lower back, all the way down to the tailbone. Knowing that this spinal cord is the hub of communication for your body. Right now, countless signals are coming and going in the form of chemical signals and electrical signals. Information from every part of your body is coming and going through this network. At every segment of your spinal column, branches of nerve tissue spread out like the branches of a tree. Some are shorter, some are longer. Some are bundled so they seem thicker, some are thin, branching out. There are nerves through your face, through your throat, through your shoulders, arms, and hands, so that your fingers can feel the smallest sensation. These nerves move through your lungs and the muscles surrounding them, especially the diaphragm muscle, to activate the muscle to help the lungs breathe. These nerves move throughout your heart to help it move. The nerves connect with another network of nerves in your digestive region, sometimes referred to as the second brain. And nerves connecting through your genitals, the reproductive organs, the tissues of elimination, network of nerves moving through your legs all the way out to the tips of your toes. Some nerves are for sending information back up to the spinal column, up through the brain. Some of the nerves are for sending information from the brain and the spinal column out to the furthest reaches of the body. Your toes and your fingertips, and the tip of your head. When we contemplated the blood flow, we were focusing on the blood moving out from the heart, from the lungs, out to the extremes of the body. And there's the venous system for returning spent blood back to the center of the chest, to the lungs. So these vessels return the blood, which is now changing color because the oxygen has been spent and it's darker. It's bluish, coming back, carrying the spent gases to the lungs, where with every exhale, those spent gases are expelled, and those blood cells that just carried out that spent gas receive fresh gases, fresh oxygen on your next inhale, becoming bright red again. Repeating its journey to your heart and all the other organs, including your skin, which surrounds every part of your body on the outside. And for the remainder of the session, just continue breathing the way you have been, in a relaxed way, feeling your abdomen moving in and out. In the back of your mind, keeping a general awareness that right now, throughout your whole body, there is a constant flow in and out on different levels of gases, liquids, solids, and very subtle signals of information through your nervous system. A constant process of receiving and letting go, and transformation in between. Just know that while you feel your whole body now with every breath in and out. I'll do this for a few more minutes and then I'll ring the bell when the session is finished. And that concludes the session.